guys, that's Roland here with a list of some of the most haunted places from around the world. Now, since I've already talked about haunted places in the US, I won't be including any of those places on this list. As a matter of fact, I won't be including any places from the United States at all. So without further ado, these are 10 of the most haunted places in the world. Number 10. Monte Cristo Homestead in Australia. This is believed to be the most haunted location in Australia. It was built in 1885 and was owned by the Crawley family, who suffered many tragic deaths while they lived there. Some of these deaths include that of a young child who was dropped down the stairs, a stable boy who was burned to death, and a maid who fell from the balcony, and the son of the caretaker. However, the caretaker's son had not died on the property. Instead, he had been chained up in the caretaker's cottage for 40 years. He was found next to his mother's body and was sent to a mental institution where he died. Later on, after the Crawleys had left Monte Cristo, another caretaker was murdered in the caretaker's cottage. Number 9. Castle of Good Hope in South Africa. The castle was built in the 17th century by the Dutch East India Company, and served as a place for passing ships to replenish their supplies. Ghosts that have been seen here are a black dog, a tall gentleman, and the lady in grey. The bell in the bell tower has also been known to ring, despite the tower being sealed off after a soldier was found hanging there. Number 8. Bobbin Barracks in Germany. The barracks now serve as a museum, but were once used by German soldiers during World War II. As a matter of fact, many such soldiers have been seen and heard here. A woman's voice has also been heard speaking backwards through a telephone. Apparently, a witch had also been burned at the stake during the 19th century in this town. Number 7. The Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. This castle has been known to be the site of torture and battles. It's very common to be touched and pulled here. Spirits seen here include a piper who had been lost in the tunnels beneath the castle, an elderly man wearing an apron, and a headless drummer boy. Shadows, lights, mists, strange sounds, and intense feelings of sadness and despair have also been reported. Number 6. The Haunted Vicarage in Sweden. In this small village is a house that was built in 1876 and is known as one of the most haunted houses in Sweden. The spirits that have been seen here are mostly elderly women, but other paranormal experiences have been reported, which includes unexplained sounds, objects being moved, and even one man who had been thrown from his chair. Number 5. Chateau de Brissac in France. The castle was built in the 11th century by the Counts of Anjou, and was rebuilt in 1502 by Charles II, Duke of Brissac. It's the tallest castle in France, but also the darkest. In the 15th century, there were 2 murders, and the ghost of one of these murders haunts the walls. She's called the Green Lady, and if you see her, you will notice the lack of eyes and nose, which gives her a very corpse-like look. Number 4. Banff Springs Hotel in Canada. The hotel was built by the Canadian Pacific Railway over 125 years ago for railway passengers. It's said that it's the most haunted place in the country. The apparitions that have been seen here include the former bellman Sam Macaulay, a bride who broke her neck after falling down a flight of stairs after her dress had caught fire, and a family that was murdered in room 873. Number 3. The Ancient Ram Inn in England. The inn has been called the most haunted house in the world. It was built in 1145 and lays at the intersection of 2 ley lines, which is believed to be a conductor for paranormal activity. An ancient pagan burial ground has also been believed to have been on the property over 5,000 years ago. People who have stayed at the inn have reported seeing apparitions, hearing voices, being touched, and an overall evil feeling to the place. Number 2. Poveglia Island in Italy. This island was used as a quarantine colony in the 14th century during the bubonic plague. Venetians were sent here to die, and once they did, their bodies were burned on pyres. The same was done in 1630 during the Black Death epidemic. The building that sits on the island was believed to have housed experimental procedures. In 1930, a doctor jumped to his death from the bell tower. Locals believe the island to be cursed, and even fishermen won't fish in the area for fear of catching human remains. Many voices and screams have been reported, as well as shadows, and possession of the people who step foot on the island. And finally, number 1. the Huska Castle in the Czech Republic. It's believed that this castle was built on top of the gateway to hell. Prisoners were offered pardons if they agreed to be lowered into the hole on the site. One such case of this said that after a long period of time, the prisoner began to scream, and he was pulled from the hole, seeming to have aged in appearance. He died days later. The castle was built in the 13th century in an effort to seal the hole. Hitler himself took over the castle, having an interest in the occult purposes that the building held. Not just ghosts, but a creature that has been described as being part human, part bulldog, and part frog have been seen here. And that was my list of 10 of the most haunted places in the world. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like to let me know. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. Do you agree with this list? What are some haunted places around the world that you have heard of? Also, don't forget to share this video to help the channel grow, and subscribe for more videos like this. See you later. The Toys R Us Ghost. Shot in 1978 in a Toys R Us store in California, this picture was taken by the crew of a TV series called That's Incredible. The crew were investigating reported paranormal activity of the building. In the photo, there's a young man standing in the back leaning against the wall. Not one of the many people who were present saw him there. Not even the high-speed camera that was shooting footage at the same time seemed to show him. Apparently,